Welcome back to Seen It Before, where we're probably going to say something stupid about your favorite movie because we've seen it all before. I'm Danny.
And I'm Dan, and I don't have to clear my throat every time we start a podcast. Sorry, that was me.
Every time
I have to do something.
It's every podcast he likes to make fun of me.
I do like to make fun of you because it's fun. All right, let's introduce our guest. So first, we got our newest guest, Jade. She's never been on the podcast before.
Hello, hi. How is everyone?
We're doing good.
We're cooking with gas, as we talked about. We gotta cook. Jesse, we have to cook. Anyway, and we got a second guest too. So we've got James. He's been on the podcast before, not in video form, but he is our director / he's gonna fill in here.
Yes,
anyway.
hello.
Hello.
How's it going?
Good. You can see our faces in the background there.
Yeah,
there we go. All right, so today we are reviewing Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah, it's going to be madness.
It is gonna
mad
be madness.
podcast.
Have you guys been able to avoid spoilers for the most part?
Yes, I think so.
You think so?
I think so.
Okay.
I haven't seen anything other than what's been in the trailers.
Okay.
I saw, you know this. I
saw something.
I can't resist going on social media, so I saw like a thumbnail with something in it, and I'm very upset. But other than that, potentially spoiler free.
I had people spoil things for me, so a little upset. So if it happens to be true, I'm going to be very upset when we come back here for this. But anyway, let's go watch this movie. Let's review this movie. Let's get to it. Okay, we have returned from Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Well, I would definitely say that movie was madness.
Yeah, it was kind of all over the place with a lot of stuff happening all at once, and yeah,
definitely a lot of stuff happening all at once. But we get right into it. Like we start off with Defender Strange and America running through whatever the hell they called it. What was that area? The place between universes?
Like the stopgap or something.
Yeah,
like that.
it's like a
with a gap.
Yeah, something like that.
It's the what was the book, the opposite of the Darkhold? What's that one called?
The Book of Ashanti.
Ashanti. Okay.
Yeah.
That's the book that they're trying to get, and that's like the Darkhold for sorcerers, but it's good.
Yeah, like Defender Strange knew it was going to be important because like something was after them, which was just Wanda as this.
Yeah, it was a
ribbon thingy.
Yeah, I think Wanda unleashed I think she said America said real quickly that it was a demon or something that
some kind of demon.
Yeah. So then that's the whole thing, and something. So a while back there was a trailer or a teaser called Dream, and I was thinking, all that stuff with the two Wandas, it's going to be like part of the Dream, like we were talking in the Road to the Multiverse of Madness. That it turns out to be a mechanism or like a tool where like you dream, it's you perceiving your other multiverse yous in different universes. I thought that was pretty cool.
I've thought of this before, like obviously not as in depth as Michael Waldron, the writer, thought of it, but I have had these thoughts before, like, oh, what if my dreams are from another reality, like a different me? I'm like,
Yeah.
creepy.
Truly scary.
Interesting.
The other Strange brought up the fact that he was like, oh, have you ever had that dream where you're like running and you fall off a building and you're like falling forever?
Yeah.
And he was like, that's not a dream. And I'm like, my biggest nightmare right there. I'm going to wake up dead.
Shit.
So it's like somebody's murdering you in your other universe.
Yeah,
Like
right?
that's scary. Like, who'd you piss off? Is it you? Is it yourself? Like,
Oh my God.
which is what
So many
Sinister
scenarios.
Strange did.
Yeah, then America ends up punching these holes in time to go to different universes, universe jumping when she's afraid. Mm-hmm. So she punches that to Earth 616, which is the MCU
Yes.
Earth, which we find out later in this film. They actually used 616.
It's officially, with like James was saying, it was officially 616 universe, the very first mention of it.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, James, you're there. Show yourself.
Hello.
There he is.
I'm still here. Don't you worry.
I'm over here. Where's my hand? Oh, okay. All right. Anyway, so Gargantos fight happens. Actually, sorry, no. Wedding happens first.
yeah. So it's like a day in the life. Stephen Strange is going to you. He's like, yeah, I'm happy.
Yeah.
So we'll find out. He goes to puts on his watch and stuff, and he's like ready to see Christine get get married, and they're like, I should have had you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well, even his
whoop.
coworker brings it up, right? He goes, best doctor, best superhero, still didn't get the girl.
Yeah.
Tough one.
Yikes.
Rough.
He's not Tony Stark after all.
Can't have it all.
Can't have it all. But yeah, Gargantos. Strange has to kind of use a spell to unlock what Gargantos is. That I found pretty cool. Like, what was that about?
That was so interesting. I thought we were going to get into some Moon Knight territory there, where only like magic wielders could see them, but apparently Doctor Strange just made everyone see it because then everyone started running and screaming. So
Yeah.
I mean, they
the
saw shit
ruins?
floating in the air, so I mean, you
well,
run
I
too.
figured that. I don't know. I feel like I got a little bit more hectic when he revealed. What is the monster called?
Gargantos.
Gargantos.
James Yummy Soda.
I feel like it got a little more hectic, but then I was thinking maybe the ruins were what were hiding it from the naked eye.
It's all up to our imagination, I guess, with that.
I mean, that's probably the case. And actually, this is the first movie that like make a difference between witchcraft and sorcery. I thought there was because they called Doctor Strange like a wizard in Spider-Man No Way Home. They go just over and over again. Something, wizard, witchcraft, the same thing. He's just doing that, but they're different apparently.
Right, which I thought was a joke in Spider-Man, but I did find it really interesting that they differentiated between witchcraft and sorcery because, like, that really is kind of semantics.
Yeah.
Unless you're looking at it versus good versus evil, right? Like, Agatha is a witch. Scarlet Witch is a witch. If she's not tapped into her Scarlet Witch powers, is she still a witch or is she a mutant?
Yeah,
Don't know.
I mean, true. So I'm confused in they probably explained this in WandaVision, but is Wanda naturally the Scarlet Witch, or did the Mind Stone give her the Scarlet Witch powers?
So she's a Nexus being, and like she's the Scarlet Witch in every universe, and exists the same throughout all universes. Like she is the same, like guaranteed from what I know about Nexus beings, but they have not delved into it much, and it's very confusing. I'm sure comic book fans can like really dive into that, but from what I know, she's a Nexus being, and like, yes, she's always the Scarlet Witch.
Yeah.
we should actually do some homework on this stuff. But like, are we gonna? Maybe.
Nah, I'm not.
I mean, I think James is right. If you read a little bit of the comics, which I have a little bit, she is a mutant, so she would always be a mutant, but her chaos powers come from Cthulhu. And so she's a witch in that way, but she would always be a mutant. So I think her probability things are her mutant powers, and everything else is kind of her witch powers, if that makes sense. So, like, she couldn't change reality as just a mutant, I think.
Okay.
But as a witch, she can. If that makes
She has
sense.
Okay, I
access
think
to
I
all
get
these
it.
spells and the runes and all that stuff, so it kind of just makes her more powerful.
I think so. Because, like, if you remember from WandaVision, right, she's moving those things before she's exposed to the Mind Stone. So she has those witch abilities, but she can't, like, I don't think she can, like, throw blasts from her hands and whatnot that you would get from an Infinity Stone. But I don't know.
Okay.
She's very, very
So
complicated.
the Mind Stone just kind of upgraded her witch powers. Is what I'm getting, right?
That's
Or just
The
like
way-
it's like an added like effect.
That's
she
what
can
I
do
think
now?
they're doing in the MCU. In the comics, it's like this whole thing, like really, really some like
Yeah, I'm sure there's a bunch of
underworld type
lore.
shit. Like, yeah, it's really bizarre. But I think you are correct. In the MCU, that's what they're doing.
All right. Let's move on to... okay, so the fight with Gargantos in general brought big Spider-Man vibes to it. You know, Spider-Man 2 vibes with Doc Ock on the building.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I was like, oh.
Just Doctor Strange looking out on the balcony, and just like he's like here, finishes a martini and then gives it to the waiter. He's like, "Here, I'll be right back," and he jumps into superhero mode. That's
Yep.
such a Spider-Man thing where he's just like, something's happening, and then like he's like, "I gotta go," So, and then also with when America gets thrown onto like the building, I was telling you in the car, I got like major Aunt May vibes when she gets launched up the building and
Yeah,
hangs on by her cane, or umbrella or whatever.
Yeah, and she's just kind of like walking along the ledge there, like
Yeah.
Aunt May was. So it's
so
really cool.
I wonder if Sam Raimi did that on purpose.
He guarantee he did.
Yeah.
Or Michael Waldron planned it that way. So
Hoping so. Also, I mean, all the pizza. pizza ball.
All the pizza. All the pizza.
She's gonna get a stomach ache.
Gargantos gets stabbed through the eye with a fucking light post. So that was brutal.
Yeah.
I loved it because it's just the kind of horror that we need.
The body
in Marvel.
horror and
Yeah. Not
Like-
only was he stabbed, but I'm pretty sure that eyeball was yanked out. It was poached
Yeah.
from the monster.
It was ripped.
Yeah.
I loved it. I loved it because it's just a theme of things to come in this movie. Very horror centric, and loved it.
Yeah, I
loved
mean,
it.
like Wanda, not getting too far ahead, she goes on a full fucking rampage.
We'll get to that. We'll get to
in
that.
quite in a couple scenes, you know.
Yeah, we'll get to her madness in a little bit.
Her madness.
It's
see what you
true.
did
It's
there.
true. It's true. Okay, so the next big scene is Strange meeting Wanda in what he thinks is like an apple field or an apple orchard type of thing.
Yeah. Yeah. And like I saw that, I thought so. My theory is that originally that was going to be the scene that was in WandaVision at the end.
Yeah.
And like, you know, but then they cut it out, and then so now we have it here, and you know, I like how it's like, I like how she's kind of deceiving him in the first, you know, like she's kind of like she's trying to be smart and like, you know, and right off the bat she's already a villain. And you know, it was my wish list for this movie. I was said the entire time with the Road to the Multiverse of Madness episodes, I'm like, Wanda needs to be the villain, at least for this movie or in the MCU as a whole. I don't think she's dead, which, you know. What?
Wow, you got really far ahead there, buddy.
I don't think she's dead.
You jumped the gun there, buddy.
Yeah, whatever. Well, if we're doing a spoiler review,
Yeah.
you haven't
I
even
know,
seen
but like
it.
we're
So,
going through.
but yeah, I think, you know, I'm glad that she's the villain in this because that's just all I've wanted ever since, you know, just learning more about her in WandaVision. So
Yeah. All right, cool. And well, yeah, she deceived him for sure because it was not real. Yeah, it was very. The acting was really well done in this movie, I think, especially from Elizabeth Olsen. Definitely her. She was full on.
Phenomenal. Like,
Yeah.
so good.
Great
Those
performance.
ending scenes, even. Wow. The emotion really took me out.
Damn. And
yeah, I mean,
we're gonna gush about her acting all day, but
Benedict Cumberbatch is, you know, fine as always.
straight.
Yeah.
You know,
I think a honorable mention should go to, and I'm going to butcher the pronunciation, but
Same.
Xochitl Gomez.
Zodal.
Zodal. Miss
Zodal.
Gomez.
Wish
Miss
I knew.
Gomez. Yeah, Miss Gomez works perfect. Yeah.
She was fantastic in the movie.
she was.
I thought she was great.
yeah, no, I completely agree. She played her part perfectly. She showed really good emotion, and I love that. Like these deeper Marvel movies have been fantastic to watch and watch them grow over the last 10, 12 years, however long it's been now.
Yeah.
And what I love that we saw a lot in this movie, especially and like lately as a whole in Marvel, is diving into emotions.
Yep.
How these events that they're taking place really affect them. Like a big theme in this was obviously fear, but also happiness and depression, sadness. So I love that Marvel's going this route.
Next.
Well, I mean, the best thing I can think of is Wanda's assault on
Kamar-Taj.
On Kamar-Taj.
Yeah, let's go
Yeah,
to
that was
Let's
pretty
go to
much
that.
it because she said, you have until sundown
Right.
to deliver America to me. Otherwise, I will lose my shit.
That's so fucking cool. Like
So
I love
badass.
it,
Honestly,
you know?
that was her being a villain, her being reasonable.
Yeah.
That was like the villain vibes I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was like, you know,
She's-
don't push me kind of villain vibes. But
And she's got that those Thanos vibes, like those
Yeah.
very
And
relatable
justify the
feelings.
means.
But
Yes.
like,
I like how her goal is singular. She just wants to have her kids back. You know, she doesn't even bring Vision into it. I don't even think Vision's name is even mentioned in this.
no, it is.
it is right in the
apple
orchard. Yeah, but I did actually find that interesting, not to jump ahead too far, but like, you know, this Wanda and any other Wanda that we may or may not have seen, Vision was not around. In
Yeah,
her
we didn't see
perfect
him.
family, Vision is not there,
yeah.
which is kind of crazy.
That's surprising because I thought like I really bought like their love relationship and stuff like, you know, and it almost feels a little weird to me that he's not even in one reality.
Yeah.
Right.
You know?
Because she even says when she's having that conversation at Kamar-Taj with Strange before, you know, everything else happens, he says, I understand how you feel. We all had to make sacrifices. And she said, I basically shot the love of my life in the head, and it meant nothing.
Yeah.
So, related to that, I think the reason why he's not there is because Thanos has to happen. Thanos is considered a Nexus event. We saw in Loki a lot. The sacred timeline must be followed. And to my understanding, that's universal throughout the multiverses, where the main events need to happen. And so I think Vision dying happens in every universe. There's very likely that is one of the Nexus events that Wanda has to kill Vision.
I think he always dies, though. But I mean, if we go back to WandaVision, White Viz is out there somewhere. He flew away. He has those memories, right? Because
I think he's trying to find out who he truly is.
Right.
I think he might not even be on Earth. We don't know. He could be somewhere in the cosmos, and we're going to see him in like Guardians 3 or something.
Shut down.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think there's at least one universe out there where the Avengers or Shuri succeeds in dismantling the Mind Stone. I think there's at least one reality where they do that, and then Thanos just kind of steals it without killing Vision. So maybe we just didn't see it. So whatever.
Yeah. All right. So the assault happens on Kamar-Taj.
Brutal.
Absolutely brutal. She kills like pretty much fucking everyone, except for Wong.
Jumping ahead to the end, I was amazed how many people were actually alive to clean up Kamar-Taj at the very end.
Yeah,
I was like,
there's like no way
this many people survived.
Well, we also don't know how long it's been. It looked like it was pretty much in like construction for a while, so we don't know how long it's been.
We have some new recruits that we saw at the end.
Well, yeah, America's a recruit.
They added
so.
to the bench. So who's to say?
They could also jump into different universes and
grab a couple for the day.
Hey, we need some volunteers real quick.
It's like your version of you died in our universe. We need to borrow you for like 3 hours so we can do that.
Oh my god.
But yeah,
so that
she owe me a Coke.
Again.
Oh,
Two.
shit.
Well, no, now we're even.
Oh, it's a reverse. Oh,
yeah.
shit. Yeah.
So one of my favorite scenes happened during the assault on Kamar-Taj. I know we're going to talk about our favorite scenes, but this did not make it.
Okay.
So I am going to bring it up now because when I was watching it, I was like, oh, this is awesome. The reflection scene.
Yeah.
When they lock her in the mirror dimension and then she realizes how to break free. And it's just this very horror-esque, where's she going to come from? We need to stop her from coming in. And as we know, it does not work out very well.
No.
But I loved that scene, watching her in the mirror dimension.
I actually did as well. It gave me some Gothica vibes.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Yeah, a throwback. And it really kind of put us into the direction that we're going, right? Where it's like, especially when she finally breaks out, when she comes through that one and her body is just like
contorted and stuff.
Oh,
my
cool.
God. I was like, we are not in Kansas.
We're not in the MCU anymore.
We are not in Westview anymore.
Well, that's like my favorite kind of like, I guess, trope in horror. Like Conjuring 2 did it great with like the little girl, like all her body's all contorted and mangled behind like the ironing board.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that scene.
It's very reminiscent of like The Ring as well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The flat object. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
They really just nail home how much of a villain and like how just straight up evil and like morally compromised that Wanda is. And like, I don't want to get too ahead of myself, but I think she's up there with some of the best villains in the MCU right now. I think she had a really good turn, and I know Jade doesn't think they went a little too far with her.
Went a little too far for me, but if I'm thinking about it in that way, if I'm thinking about, okay, she, best villains out there, I think she's definitely up there. I mean, she has a cause, she has a reason, and she's not willing to back down away from that, right? No matter what line she crosses, she kind of has this thing that she wants.
Yeah.
She feels that she deserves, right?
Yeah.
And so she's going to go after it.
Yeah.
I mean, who wouldn't feel like, like I lost everything. Can I just have this one thing? I literally made it up. Like
you actually don't have anything to do with it.
It's like I created all this shit. Like it's mine,
Yeah.
and she can't even have that, So it's great, man.
But so obviously America panics, opens another star portal, and then her and Strange go tumbling through, that trailer scene where they're tumbling through everything.
Yep.
We go through multiple different universes, cartoon universes. We go through the paint universe. We go through.
I loved the cartoon universe.
Yeah.
so
Just
cute.
because I really hope it can set up the possibility for Into the Spider-Verse to go live action.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
It really
Yeah.
opened up that is
Yeah.
100% a possibility. Because we obviously know they deal a lot with the multiverse within that movie itself. And we know that there's 2 movies coming out. And my early prediction right now, making it on this podcast first, is that the first movie is going to be animated and it ends with them winding up in a live action universe. And the third movie is a live action movie. That's my guess right
That
now.
could be cool.
That'd be so cool.
My prediction for that is at the end of the second one, Miles gets pulled into a live action universe, and that's how we get live action Miles Morales.
I will be okay if it's just Miles.
Yeah.
I would
I'd
be
just
okay with
want
that.
Miles.
Yeah.
Like, we can't really get Gwen because she's already Kate Bishop.
Right. That's what I was going to say. I would prefer to keep Kate Bishop in the MCU.
So we be casting the voice actors as I don't know his name, the guy from Dope.
Yeah. Shamik? It's one of those. More.
I believe it's
Last name
Shamik.
Mr.
Yeah.
Moore.
Yeah. That would be
Yeah.
awesome. I'm
Yeah.
here for it.
Yeah, I mean he's great. I loved him
Or
in Dope.
it doesn't have to be the MCU universe. It could be Toby's. It could be Andrew's. It could be
Sure, but
anything.
I'd love him in the
like
MCU.
Yeah.
this
Yeah,
time.
but
that's where we
but,
want him.
Tom
Yeah.
isn't old enough though. Tom Holland's Peter Parker
mean-
isn't old enough to really mentor him. You want to have an older Spider-Man.
It would be great to have Toby mentor another Spider-Man, because we got a little bit of that in No Way Home, where he's with the glider scene, but I don't know. Miles just belongs in the MCU. That's because he's going to be the future of the MCU, so we need to have him there, right? That's the whole thing.
Spidey Squad.
We'll see.
I definitely think we can have both Tom Holland and Miles Morales, personally.
Yeah.
Because they're definitely teasing or leading towards Young Avengers right now, and
Yeah.
either one of them could be on it with the age that they are. Well, I mean, Miles isn't in the MCU, but assuming he were to be, they're both young enough to be part of the team, but Tom Holland not as much. So I don't know. I think they could both.
Or more. I mean, he's a grown man.
Yeah.
He sounds young, but I'm pretty sure he's in his 30s. So I don't know if that swings.
Oh well, let's stop casting that right now.
But Jake Johnson.
Okay, calm yourself.
Jake Johnson is Spider-Man, live action.
Yeah, that'd be
Big
amazing.
Billy, Big Billy Spidey.
Nope. All right.
He
Moving
just
on.
screams, just ah! He has his high pitched scream that he does in New Girl.
Yeah.
Would it help if we also got a Nick Cage as Spider-Man, Spider Noir? Would that change your opinion at all?
And then he combusts into flames, and we have a Ghost Rider Spider-Man spinoff,
Please, no one make the offer. He will pick it up.
and then he'll make out with himself. That's younger than him.
Cage smooch is good. Oh God. Anyway.
I'm a sexy cat.
Okay. We gotta cut this, guys. Okay. Let's
That's what
get
we
back
cut.
on track. Get back on track. Okay. So we end up in this very strange, very green universe.
I believe they said this was 838.
838?
I believe was
Okay.
the universe number.
Okay. Yeah. So this is where Strange walks around. We see all the cool stuff, like how red is go and green is stop. So that's different than our universe. Just trying to pick out differences.
Pizza balls.
Pizza balls.
I think it was a cute way to establish don't trust what you see.
Yeah.
Be wary.
And then we get the Bruce Campbell
Bruce
cameo,
Campbell
which
cameo.
is required in every Sam Raimi movie. And then he punches himself.
He just punched himself for like
For
3
3
weeks. Jinx, yummy soda.
Another one.
All right. Anyway, yeah. So we end up meeting Mordo, and he hugs Strange like this. It's like, oh, you're back,
Brother.
Yeah, brother. Because this Strange in this universe is dead. So
Right.
And has monuments built in his honor.
yes.
Yeah.
So then we move on to. They're just sitting around having tea and stuff, explanation, backstory stuff, whatever. And then the tea is spiked, and
then we
America and Strange are just
Yeah.
whoa.
And and then they get thrown in, and like so, Christine, they get thrown in jail or glass boxes, cells. Yep. And Christine brings up a good point. It's like, you might have some like multiverse disease or some shit like that. And like, we want to like contain you. You could be giving off radiation, and like,
you don't know.
That was thrown right out the window once fucking Wanda shows up.
Yeah, but we're not at Wanda yet. We're not at Wanda yet. We're not there. We're at the really cool part. Right. The Illuminati will see you now.
Yeah.
So Strange just walks in. First we see Captain Carter.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Was not expecting her.
I was, because I saw the TV spot.
There's a TV spot recently that showed her shield.
Oh, was there? I stayed pretty far away from any advertising outside the main trailers.
Yep. Smart. Then we see Black Bolt. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah. Poor Inhumans show just got canceled a while ago.
Yeah. And then we saw Captain Marvel, which was Maria Rambeau, not Brie Larson or whatever face.
I wonder how that played out,
Yeah, it's a pretty cool, interesting story to go through.
Well, they were test pilots together, and Brie's character had something happen to her. So, assuming it just happened to Maria instead.
Yeah, so essentially, remember they I'm sure you want to put it out of your mind, but remember when like her plane goes down or whatever, and she's on that like deserted beach, and then that she touches, there's that Kree ship, and then she touches the stone, and she's
good for a what if episode. Bring her in for a what if episode. Season 2.
Pretty good. I mean, we got a lot of what if
stuff that could happen. Yeah. Yes, we did.
They did cut 2 episodes. Maybe that's one of the episodes they cut.
Very possible.
And they wanted it to be ahead of this to show that it happened.
Okay, could make sense. Right. But now, the big cameo that we weren't expecting. I was expecting because I had it fucking spoiled for me.
I had a spoiler thumbnail.
Ooh. Anyway, Mr. Fantastic shows up. Guess who it is? Fucking John Krasinski. Yes. The fan casting everyone has wanted. That was so cool. The way he just came in there. He had the beard and all. The same as that.
He looked exactly like that picture.
Yeah,
he really did.
That was really cool. It was a little less gritty, but like it was still really cool.
I am so glad that I didn't get it spoiled for me because I was not expecting it whatsoever.
Yeah.
This like fan casting came out years ago, towards the beginning of the MCU. And I was like, oh, okay. And I completely put it out of my mind until seeing it again.
He was also up for the role of Captain America. So, I mean, that could have also seen that too, but we didn't.
I got Mr. Fantastic spoiled for me. I didn't get John Krasinski spoiled for me. That was a big surprise for me. So I'm like, ooh, okay, cool, here we go.
I was honestly expecting the other Mr. Fantastic from the 2004 movie.
Yeah, I don't know his name.
I don't know how to pronounce his name.
Is he he's a French dude, right? So some sort of
Frenchman.
Yeah.
Anyway, so they're all talking like, Strange, you are the reason the multiverse is always in danger. Just Doctor Strange himself is the reason.
Well, first,
I'd argue that
Patrick Stewart.
Yeah. I think they're all talking about it though. Then he shows up. Oh, okay. You're right. You're right. Actually,
it's Patrick Stewart.
Yeah, Patrick Stewart says it.
And he comes out in his X-Men animated.
Yeah, I was just saying, like, that's the best part.
It's so cool.
So cool to the theme song.
Got that teased in a teaser as well, like a TV spot that was also shown. Like,
oh, really?
Part of his arm and like part of the yellow.
Well, they nothing.
Not the song. Right?
No.
Okay, good. The song is what
that was pretty cool.
That's what made it for me. Yeah.
And that just reminded me that when we first saw Wanda, we saw the banana from WandaVision. I love that. And I completely forgot about it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it plays a little WandaVision jingle and it plays like part of like a score of her theme song.
Oh, that's so cool.
Underneath, yeah.
The music was outstanding in this movie.
Yeah, like the score didn't have to go that hard, and
Not
it
at all.
fucking did.
I loved it. Thank you,
sit
Danny
down.
Elfman.
By shirtless Danny Elfman with tattoos everywhere, which we just found out. Like, I had no idea.
He's like just Travis Barker, but with like...
But 60.
Is Travis Barker not 60?
No, I think he's in his early 50s or something.
No, I think
close enough,
I don't know, yeah.
I'm pretty sure Travis Barker's 40s.
No, I think he is
whatever.
in his 40s. Seems older when he hangs out with MGK.
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
All right. So we get that whole scene, and then Wanda dreamwalks. That's the thing they were talking about in this movie as well. So
Good plot mechanic. I like it.
Yes, dreamwalking is where it's a spell where Wanda in the 616 reality can morph herself into the body of the 838 body.
Yeah.
I guess, and she can walk around as that person. So we kind of saw that,
Yeah.
but we saw it a little earlier, but it kind of failed. And then we saw it again, and she succeeded, and she heads to wherever the hell they are, the Illuminati headquarters, and starts fucking shit up.
You brought up when it failed before. That editing was so cool. When it was cutting real quick back and forth between the mind she's starting to take over and herself, like with her kids and stuff, and like perfectly matched up. But I loved that editing.
Yeah, she didn't want to lose that
Just
feeling.
mention
Yeah,
that.
it's just like all the emotion in that was awesome.
Yeah.
But now she's on a rampage, though. So she goes to the Illuminati HQ, starts messing up all these Ultron drones. And speaking of, where the fuck do they come from? Does Mr. Fantastic build them, or like how does that work?
I don't know. We know that in 616 universe, Tony Stark makes Ultron. Reed Richard could have made Ultron in this one, and he's smarter, so he could have
Tony
stabilized
just
it.
isn't on the Illuminati, and he still exists in the universe.
I was waiting for Tom Cruise to show up. That would be so cool.
I really thought that was happening.
No, I'm so happy that didn't happen.
Why not?
I hate Tom Cruise.
I don't blame you. I mean,
Yeah, but
Anyway,
Tony
all right.
Stark.
Back to Wanda.
we can get to watch him run, but in an Iron Man suit.
Back to Wanda for a second. So she sees America still in the chamber, Christine Palmer trying to get her out frantically, and then the Illuminati steps in for a huge, massive fight
Yes.
where
And
they get fucking obliterated.
they get fucking. If you want to, if you want,
We're not gonna. Well, yeah,
if you
we're
want to
gonna-
like show your villain,
Yeah.
like truly be a villain, like show them how badass they are. Have them kill an entire Avengers team.
Like without breaking a sweat.
Yeah.
That was
she had like
truly
a
insane.
bruised leg or whatever. She had a limp at the end of that, and it was like, "Geez, that's all you got."
Right.
Like,
yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
god! Like
I knew shit was going down when it's like
Black Bolt.
when Black Bolt happened.
Oh.
Yes.
Mr. Fantastic's like,
So
Black Bolt can
gnarly.
take you out with just a whisper, and he's like, what mouth?
And then he tried to, and he blew his fucking brain out. Like, oh.
Yeah, and that's when Mr. Fantastic's like, I should keep my mouth shut. I shouldn't say another word.
Yeah.
She doesn't care though.
He gets untwisted and his head pops.
Yeah. Which I was a little bummed about.
Yeah.
It's like.
That's okay.
I'm like, okay, Black Bolt, he's not too important, but they killed Reed Richards, so I'm like, okay, well now I know what's happening to fucking everyone else.
Yeah.
Captain Carter and Captain Marvel go pretty hard. They go for a while, but Carter gets fucking sawed in half
Yeah.
by a
Yeah.
shield. Holy shit!
Yeah, and like it makes me kind of bummed because like, is that the What If episode?
We don't
Captain
know.
Carter that we know? Like,
You don't know. There could be other Captain Carters out there too, but
it's
like,
yeah.
I think it was just the kind of like a plot device to show like, oh, she is in the larger universe of Marvel, so like,
Yeah.
she might show up again. Ooh.
I mean, like, I hope she does, but almost that would almost be like pretty fucking awesome if they just didn't bring her back, like But Haley Atwell has barely had any time to shine in these movies, so like
Yeah.
I would definitely support her coming back.
Yeah.
So.
And then Maria Rambeau's Captain Marvel gets the shit knocked out of her, and then a fucking statue knocked down on top of her as well.
Yeah, and like
Kind of a
it's
bullshit way for her to go
you
out.
guys are saying this is bullshit. Like
I will say, one thing we can at least answer now is we know definitively Scarlet Witch messes up Captain Marvel.
Oh,
'Cause this
for
wasn't
sure.
even the Scarlet Witch. She was possessing a different Scarlet Witch.
Yeah.
And I have to assume
Yeah,
that at
power.
least weakens you a little bit, not being in your own body.
well, yeah, we saw it later on in the movie when Steven does the thing. He's having a hard time. Maybe it's just because it's a corpse, but he's having a hard time controlling the body.
I mean, I would say I looked this up so many times on YouTube, Captain Marvel versus Scarlet Witch. I don't know that she had the chance to go like supernova. So, I mean, keep that
Yeah.
in her little back
Yeah.
pocket there.
Yeah.
So maybe if she powered up a little bit, she might have a winning shot. But
No.
yeah, I don't know. I would say Sam Raimi was in his bag for that whole scene. Like so many Evil Dead vibes, especially as soon as the head pops, I'm like, oh, this is a horror movie. 100%.
More of these horror vibes we were talking about earlier. They are spread, not even few and far between. They're all over this movie.
Yeah.
And it's so awesome. But moving on, Strange and Mordo have a fight. pretty lame fight if you ask me.
Yeah.
But
Oh, I now have my answer to what I would cut. I remember. I was like, yeah.
yeah, Mordo. It's a mental fight. Like, oh, you know why you were like, you hated me in my universe, yada yada yada, and then Mordo just goes apeshit on him, breaks his handcuffs in the Illuminati chamber.
Yeah. It's an okay fight. It just kind of gets us from one point to another. It doesn't. There's no character development there or anything, so it's just kind of there.
It gets us to Patrick Stewart facing Wanda. So,
Which I thought was, even if for the briefest bit that we got, it was badass.
Yes,
So cool.
and I was surprised with what happened.
that dream scene where he was actually in her head trying to get actual Wanda out from under the rubble. That was so cool. That was really well done too. I loved it.
And so that is actually, I'm pretty sure, kind of straight ripped from the comics, right? So in House of M, that is essentially how they deal with Wanda, is they have Professor X keep her asleep. Essentially what he does to Jean Grey, right?
Okay.
He confines her powers and he keeps her in kind of like a dream state so that she doesn't like lose her fucking mind. So that was really cool to see. It was really sad to see also though, because her mind was completely wiped outside of just like some of the most traumatizing moments in her life.
Yeah. And then
Wait. So is that Darkhold Wanda, the evil Wanda, or is that
That was good.
838
That was
Wanda?
That was
838
838 Wanda. Yeah.
And
So that's all she remembers. Like,
all she
that's
remembered
sad.
was that, that like, that,
with the rubble, like when her parents blew up.
Yeah.
And then what, the WandaVision show, that's it? Yeah.
and
Because it's playing on the TV real quick.
or maybe
Yeah.
Wanda just took everything else from her.
That
That's
could
all
be
you
it.
get.
Yeah.
but then
That's
the,
her kind of her goal anyway, right?
Right.
You know?
the cherry on top of that though is Scarlet Witch comes into there and snaps. Patrick
Like
Stewart's
and
neck.
the red smoke and on the
God.
white background.
Her black fingers.
Yeah, it was just like, and then you just see Patrick Stewart go, and it was like,
And
oh
that's-
shit!
Oh my
IRL
god!
too. She broke his neck in
Inside
her
his
own
mind.
mind, which translated to real life.
Yeah, I mean,
Awesome.
if you're a Professor X fan, you gotta like be fucking pissed.
Yeah.
Because it's like Wanda is so powerful. She takes out the strongest Fantastic Four, strongest, I guess, Avenger,
Inhuman.
Right.
besides Thor, of
And
course,
it's the strongest Inhuman.
the strongest Inhuman and the strongest mutant in one fell swoop. Like,
Well, yeah. I mean, Jean Grey is the strongest mutant, but
okay, yeah, you're right. You're right. So yeah, I'd like to see like a battle between Jean Grey and Scarlet Witch. Now
That'd be
that'd be
cool.
really
that'd
cool.
be rad.
Yeah.
I would
That'd be
love
cool.
that. Maybe she'll take her revenge.
Yeah, like it's like she comes from maybe that. Well,
That
if only they
brings up-
said it. If only they said it in this
Oh,
movie.
yeah. I know. That'd be cool.
That brings up a good point. That do you think Marvel will introduce Jean Grey soon enough, where Scarlet Witch is still around for that to be an opposition? Because like we had the Dark Phoenix movie not too long ago, and it was not well received. So do you think
Two of those movies.
yeah. Do you think they'd be willing to bring her in so quickly?
Sophie Turner.
No, not Sophie Turner.
No, they'd have to,
No,
like-
they had to redo
redo
it, new cast.
Yeah, for
'Cause
sure, new cast.
Patrick Stewart's getting old. I don't want him to sign like a 10 movie contract.
Bring back what's his face?
James McAvoy.
James McAvoy, he's a
Yeah,
good pick.
bring him back. Just bring him back. That's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, well, let's bring James McAvoy and Michael Fassbender.
Yeah, bring them both in.
Okay.
That's all we need.
Yeah.
And then recast everyone else.
I mean, I'm itching for it. I want it.
Let's not get into that just yet, but we may have time for that later to do our fan castings. But moving on, so they go through this tunnel system to get to or Christine, Doctor Strange, and America go through this tunnel system to get to the Book of Ashanti, and the Scarlet Witch is hot on their tail, like limping
Yeah.
and everything. She's
Yeah, we
just
get-
blasting through these
There's like the
doors.
blast doors.
Yeah, like oh my god.
And we get like a really good suspense scene. Like,
horror suspense.
yeah, it's like it goes, it's like the ever close ups on everyone's faces,
Slow motion.
zoom.
The water's dropping really slow. It's
Yeah,
like
really building.
She's
it.
just behind this door the whole time, but like she comes out from the side.
Yeah.
out of nowhere.
How does she do that? For
Like,
I don't know.
that
I
was-
guess semantics is I know, but it's like
yeah, but like that
how'd
was
she do
was
it?
that the one you jumped on?
That's the one I jumped and also
Yeah.
yelled at.
Yeah.
She got a little bit back to her roots in this movie, right? We saw her really kind of using some moves that she brought out during Ultron.
Yeah,
You know, that
Yeah.
sneak up, that like quick walk where you're like fucking with people's minds, getting in their head, popping up out of nowhere.
Oh, that brings. I missed it in the beginning, but when she's at Camartage and she's staring down that one sorcerer, and then all of a sudden she just appears from behind him.
The sound design on that was great.
Yeah.
So good.
Sorry, I just had to.
No, you're
And
good.
then
Yeah.
silence. And
No, you're fine.
It's so good.
So then they get to the again, the place between multi-universes.
The stopgap is what we called it?
The stopgap of the Book of Ashanti. So they get there. Wanda is like drowning. Like they implode the ceiling. Wanda's like drowning or whatever. And Strange gets it. And Wanda gets America. And holds her captive or whatever.
Not before she burns the Book of Ashanti.
Yeah, she
Destroys
burns
it.
that. And Strange's like, oh.
Oh, we should probably talk about the kind of the B plot that has been going on with Wong and 616 Wanda.
Yeah, let's head back there.
They
for a
go
second.
basically. So one of the Camartage people is still alive, gets the Darkhold, kills it or destroys it or whatever, and then like she's like, "Where's the other one?" And conveniently, there's another. It's written on a wall.
Burns.
She burns the fuck up.
And so Scarlet Witch and Wong go up to this temple on top of a high mountain, and apparently it's made for the Scarlet Witch, and it's like her castle. So it's all these big four gigantic big things guarding it.
Yeah, who built it?
well, I think Catan, I think he did, right? Because that's his book.
He built one.
Oh,
each
so he's
universe.
just like, we're my disciple or with my main disciple or whatever.
In each universe, probably, right?
Yeah, because I mean, essentially, like Wanda is his, right? Like not his, but like
Like his creation.
like Scarlet Witch, he wants her to come about, right? So he creates this this book for her so that she can like rise to power and essentially like be his little
Like a tool or whatever.
Yeah.
Scarlet Bitch.
Scarlet Bitch. Yeah, but essentially, yeah. So I think he built that for her.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, okay.
Okay, that's fine. But yeah, so
But anyway, so she's basically meditating there, and Wong is fucking thrown off a cliff.
oh my
And
God,
we'll get back to
legit
him.
thrown off a cliff into the smoke. We're like,
I'm like,
oh,
he's
fuck.
not dead.
Yeah.
yeah. So now Wanda in the 838 in the world between worlds. I'm just gonna call it that.
Yeah.
Stop.
She has America. She blasts open a door, takes her back, and now she sends Strange and Christine just somewhere else.
Yeah.
Whatever. She just like
fuck
throws them
y'all.
somewhere and then takes America back to the
616 universe.
Yeah, the temple.
Yeah.
So now Christine and Strange find Supreme Strange in this very dusty, creepy looking world.
Right.
And
So, like, I want to know: is this the what if? What if that's the Doctor Strange?
it's like he was trapped though.
'Cause-
So I don't.
Yeah, I don't know. I picture what if Doctor Strange, weirdly, our Doctor Strange, after what happens to him.
Okay.
Because we see how he takes control of certain bad spirits.
Yeah.
Whereas
well,
in What If, he is absorbing
All
monster powers,
Yes.
right? Like creature
Okay.
powers. And
From
so
all
he
these other
absorbs,
stranges,
right.
basically. So
Well,
that
we also saw earlier in the movie he summons monsters to help him fight. He at Camartage at the initial
yes,
thing, he summons these like
Tentacles.
snake tentacle things, to attack her. So
True.
is that connected?
Some of that
He makes
green
like a-
magic too.
he does like a hiss sound too when he's doing. He's like,
Yeah, I noticed
strange.
that. I was like, what?
yeah.
I guess you just have to have seen What If to know like what's going on. So apparently, in this time away, Strange has done other stuff to get more powers. Like
Yeah. Well, I want to know which universes did he collide, because that's what the incursion
yeah, the incursion. We'll get to that. Oh, are you talking about Supreme
in the
Strange?
Supreme Strange's universe.
Yeah, we
it's
don't know.
what universe. It's just. I mean, I hope we find out, but
Well, I don't know if we're going to. But
not for another 6 years.
oh my god. But
It
yeah,
took forever to get to this one, but
so
They
Supreme
kind of needed
they-
to with.
I know they had a lot of stuff going on.
So Supreme Strange has a Darkhold. Shocker. And basically they have a whole fight in this room, and
yeah,
Supreme Strange gets fucking thrown out a window and just laid out on a fence post. Like,
Yeah.
oh.
You skipped over the cringiest part, I thought, of the whole scene.
And what was that?
The fucking
I
music.
hate you.
I hated that. I hated that so much.
right.
Like it started. Like that
I
song.
actually love that too, though.
I loved that because I felt like it was like, all right, Danny Elfman, here you go. Here is
Fucking
your
you
time
go,
to
boy.
shine.
Like, I thought it was kind of cool, honestly. Like, they're just like throwing these runes, like music things at each other.
Throwing
Just-
literal music
like,
notes.
it was,
at
it was
each
cool.
other.
I will
It was
ag-
different.
I will agree that, yeah, it was a little weird, out of left field.
Contrived.
For a Doctor Strange movie, even. Like,
Yeah, like I will concede to that, but I still think it was awesome.
It's kind of like
I loved it.
Moon Knight, random bullshit. Go.
I liked the last note, I guess, where like it explodes. And that was kind of okay.
Yeah, it was
But,
cool.
like,
It was
I
so
liked
cool.
it. I thought it was cool. I did think that he was like turning them around to make them into ruins or something. I didn't realize when it started that we were getting
thought
into like
that's
a
what I saw, yeah.
Fantasia type fight.
I'm here for it. I'm here for it, man.
Well, it's just my problem with it is just like Marvel has a like I always brought this up in the ranking episodes. The Bathos, which is like undercutting a serious
No,
moment.
that was not undercut. What
Yes,
are you
it
talking-
was.
Fuck you.
We're
that was
having a
not
cool
undercut.
action scene. Music. All of
No,
a sudden,
no, that was cool.
Fucking throwing musical notes at each other. They did the same thing. They don't do it too much in this movie, but they did the same thing right when we meet the Illuminati. But I'm just like, it's like this awe moment, and he says some like sort of quippy joke, and I'm just like,
That's Doctor Strange,
That's
though. He's an
very-
arrogant
no,
asshole.
wait, no, is when Wanda comes to Comertage. Like he
Okay.
does like a quip to Wong.
Oh, like the
like,
better
no
watch what you
pressure.
say or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah,
like
okay, that
Wanda
was-
just
that was
showed up
typical,
with
though.
the fucking clouds.
Yeah.
And shit. Like I want to be in that moment, and they took
But
me
like
out of it. But
they are stopping to do that. They only did it really once in this movie, and that's fine. Like,
I don't like it anytime.
okay, well that
I-
wasn't the time. Now you're going back on it. Like the music part is not undercut now, so fuck you. It's not undercutting the scene.
No, it is.
No, it's not.
Let's move on.
Yeah, yeah, you're wrong.
fight.
He's wrong. He's wrong. Anyway,
I'm gonna throw musical notes at you.
oh shit.
How do we know that this universe isn't a universe where music comes to life? You know,
Like it's
It's
literally
true.
the Fantasia universe.
Like the paint, like the paint universe.
and Doctor Strange was tired of it and blew it up, but then
like fuck you, Mickey.
Yeah, I guess I would say it was our Doctor Strange who started it. So like, I don't know where he learned that.
He's just like, oh, sheets of music.
Yeah, like he had like a moment of revelation. I don't know what happened.
It's like I read about this in a book one time.
All right, but yeah,
I just remembered bringing up Fantasia. There was one scene I'm pretty sure we saw very old classic Mickey Mouse cartoons, right? Like
Yeah, that
before
was
he was
the-
Mickey, like Oswald.
yeah, the boys in the WandaVision house.
yeah,
yeah.
They were watching old Mickey, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought it was
Arguably,
nifty.
we went to 1950s like Mickey universe as well, right? We went to like a black and white cartoon.
Yeah. Oh, that's something I wanted. All right. So going back to that scene where, like, right when Wanda throws them through the different universes, or I think for the first time or whatever, and they hit the animated universe, they hit the paint universe, they hit a bunch of those. There was rumors that a different property universe was going to be shown very briefly, and I think it might have been in that, and I think it might have been Mustafar. I don't know for sure, but I think it might have been the Star Wars universe Mustafar because they show up lava planet really quickly, and then that's it.
I was thinking the exact same thing when it came up, but that's only because Dan and I were literally having this conversation earlier today.
No, I was talking about that was in What If though.
Yeah, no, I know, but we were literally talking about the appearance of Mustafar, so I was
Yeah.
like, I wonder if that's Mustafar.
I thought towards the end, like Wanda goes to another, or America's fighting Wanda, and like she kind of backs up into a lava planet, but it didn't really look anything like Mustafar.
no.
It looked like really kind of. It just looked different, you know.
Just lava.
Yeah, just lava.
All right, anyway, getting to that scene, so Strange gets a hold of the Darkhold, and he's like, "Don't let these things come after me. They're like little demon things."
Yeah, and Christine fucking failed.
Christine failed
Hard.
What do you expect a doctor with no super abilities to do against demons?
I'm not
from
blaming
hell?
her. I'm blaming Strange for being fucking idiots. Like,
I mean,
all right,
yeah.
so there's gonna be these interdimensional demons that come and attack me. You gotta stop them while I'm unconscious. Go. Like,
If anything, Christine should have been like, no, I'm not. Good luck.
America's on the table being just her power's taken, whatever.
Yeah.
Strange summons Sorcerer Strange, his dead body, as his persona.
I knew the second that.
I'm glad that came back though. That's good plot.
Yeah, it was a setup payoff. Yeah,
Yeah.
Chekhov's gun.
Yeah, Chekhov's like yeah.
Second time I got to bring that up on this podcast.
In the future.
As you're saying.
But what was I saying? Oh yeah, I knew it was Zombie Strange. I knew that Defender Strange was going to be Zombie Strange when I saw the cuts on his face right when he gets first attacked right in the first scene. I'm like, oh, it's going to come back. They're not going to kill him, or they're not going to,
Well, they killed him.
dispose of him.
Yeah. But yeah, so he gets these. He gets control of these, demon things, and flies over like a freaking vampire to the temple on top of the mountain. I'm like, this is sick.
Yeah,
Truly the Morbius that we wanted.
The one we deserve.
The one we deserved. But yeah, so the fight ensues. It's just it's a good fight. I mean, Wanda is just kind of basically simmered down and trapped for a little bit before America gains control of her powers. Finally,
yeah.
she's able to control them. She punches a scene to the WandaVision house, and Wanda goes in there all recklessly and
And she's like, get away from her.
Tries to take the mother away like she said she was going to, and the boys are just scared shitless.
I love that they did that. I knew I had a hint. I had an idea there that's where we're going to go because Wanda because if they want to just get rid of Wanda, let's just shove her in a universe. With now that America has control of her powers, you don't have to kill her, and then just push Wanda there. But I'm like, oh, they're gonna show her how the whole thing is wrong because she's the monster that she's become, And we kind of skipped over it. We haven't been talking too much about Doctor Strange's arc, but his arc is all about what Christine says. You always have to be one holding the knife, right? So basically, he needs to learn to let go and not do everything. Yeah, are you happy? That'll by giving up, that'll make him happy and stuff. So if he doesn't have to have control of everything.
Yeah,
because we see with Sinister Strange, that's what led him and 838 Strange that got killed by the Illuminati. That's what drove them to their doom. They couldn't let go of control and they got corrupted. And now Doctor Strange, our Doctor 616, learns hey, America, you figure out your shit. You can do this, And then he's like, I'm gonna take a step back. And so it's one, it does wonders for his arc. Two, it kind of gives America a chance to shine. Yep. Kind of fulfilling her arc at the same time. So I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, I loved it.
I agree. But yeah, so Wanda is just kind of other Wanda, the one she possessed. It's that same universe. So she's always discombobulated. She's like, oh, fuck this bitch again. And so she just comes over and she's like, what does she say to other Wanda? Because I didn't really hear what she said.
She says that they will be loved.
Yeah, know that they'll be loved.
Know that they'll be loved, yeah.
Yeah.
It was such a good line.
Yes.
And then...
Well, one line right before that, that the kid said that broke my heart was when they were like, please don't hurt us. And Wanda's like, I would never hurt you, as she's crying.
Yeah.
It's that's the moment she realizes.
Yeah, I think it was her saying the words, right? She says, I would never hurt you. I would never hurt anyone.
Yeah.
After just killing dozens of people.
Yeah, and it's you kill some people.
You hurt a couple.
But yeah, so she decides to destroy all the Darkholds in every universe.
Yeah.
And the temple comes crashing down on top of her. And, basically that's the end of the movie. Until either rebuilding Kamartaj.
Yeah.
America is part of that now, kind of similar to, the end of, was it Age of Ultron, where they're all just Avengers?
Oh, yeah. kind of
the end of that type of thing.
I like how the movie gets resolved not by this beating up the villain and throwing him in jail, having them showing the error of her ways and stuff. I just thought it was nice instead of I don't think that's ever been done in the MCU yet. So
no big bad fight to end it all.
Yeah, because even in Endgame, it was still a big fight. And Thanos is one of the best villains in the MCU. So yeah, I can't think of any of them.
I was thinking the same thing earlier. Just loved that we didn't need this big bad fight that destroys half a damn city, which has been a recurring issue with the
Just a
Marvel
mountain this
Yeah,
time.
I'm like, well, also Karmatage, you know, they got
Just
kinda fucked up.
Karmatage. But that was the beginning of the movie.
They moved it. Yeah, they moved it up.
And it's on the up and up. They're rebuilding.
Yeah.
Yep, they're rebuilding, you
Can
know.
only go up from here.
But yeah, at the very end of the movie, Strange fucking just starts freaking out and just like, what the fuck is going on? And
Yeah, I thought that was a little weirdly placed, but
and then the mid-credit scene,
that explains a little better. But
yeah, he gets the third eye that Supreme Strange had.
yeah, so now we take it that Doctor Strange is corrupted, and I like it because
Darkhold. Yep.
because consequences.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I love. So that's what I criticized WandaVision for, because there wasn't really any consequences for her taking over a fucking town.
Yeah.
And then even in this movie, Doctor Strange is like, I don't want to talk about that. That's fine. Fuck that.
Yeah.
And then, but now Doctor Strange using the Darkhold. He's corrupted. Now he's going to be tempted in some area or something like that. I don't know. We'll see what
Yeah,
happens.
but somebody shows up in that mid-credit scene as well. It's Charlize Theron, of all people. I didn't even know. I had to ask James who that was. I'm like, wait, who is that?
I had to think about it for a sec too. She looked very different from what she usually does.
It was cool. Jade, who is that? Because you looked it up.
I did. I hope I'm saying it right. Kriya, she is a sorceress, and she ends up being Strange's wife in the comics. I 100% had no idea who this was when it popped up on the screen. I looked over at Danny and I said, is she supposed to be like Cyclops or something? Like, is this...
I don't know.
And I went over to
why?
Dan and I was like, is this Invisible Woman maybe?
Yeah.
With the blonde hair.
I thought she was like an alternate reality Agatha, because she looked like WandaVision's outfit, but purple.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Like, what was in that portal they opened up, though? Because when I saw the purple, I was like, wait, is that Dormammu? Like, I was like...
Same.
that was the land of time, or time or whatever.
what's
Land
go-
without time.
The
There's no...
gate stop? Are you talking
Like-
about? Or
No,
where Dormammu
Dormammu's
was.
realm.
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
I forgot what
where
that
does
is.
this go from here? Like, where does Strange go from here? Do they follow up on that, or is that just like a mini adventure they have like off the books? Like,
I don't know. I got questions about the Strange universe, because I'll also say the one thing that stuck out to me, like way in the beginning, it just seems like nothing was really canon in like the Strange universe. Like, why would he put her in the mirror dimension? We know that people who draw powers from the dark dimension are more powerful in the mirror direct dimension. Like, he knows that for a fact. That is
he just told me to slow her down. He didn't think she'd figure it out in time, I guess.
I guess. I mean, I just feel like there were a couple Doctor Strange things that like weren't adding up particularly for me. That one in particular.
Okay.
That does make sense, yeah.
Believe, although I'm not positive on this, that in the Marvel, or at least in Marvel itself, there's different types of magic, and I think her magic is different from like the dark dimension magic that we saw the Ancient One and Dormammu draw their power from. I believe they're different.
Well, because that's sorcery and
sources.
not witchcraft.
Yeah, and you might be right because, well, also, I feel like we're meant to take a lot of meaning from like the different colors of magic, right? So the sorcerers use orange, but Strange was using all different types of magic, even when he wasn't using the Darkhold. He had purple magic, he had green magic. What does that mean?
I don't know. Like Sinister Strange specifically had purple magic.
It's dark magic. That's what they're using for the dark magic.
So is that the same as Agatha?
Yes.
So that would be witchcraft, right? I mean, but he's using the Darkhold, so I guess that makes sense. But so is Wanda.
So
I'm very confused now.
Thinking with this, although who knows, because who knows, I thought they were just using the colors to kind of show other dimensions, like as a way to better differentiate that visually. Because at the very beginning, we see the first Doctor Strange with America, and it's blue. It's like a light blue magic that he's using. And I just assumed it was kind of a way to show different dimensions. Different dimensions, magic sources will have different colors
That's a
corresponding.
very
to them.
good point.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because like different universes have different energy, like how Electro was saying in No Way Home.
I really thought Nightmare was going to be the villain in this movie. I really did think, because Scott Derrickson's original plan for this movie, and he was a producer on this, was to include Nightmare as the villain.
I have no idea who that is.
So he's
I'm glad they went
he's
with
another
Wanda.
demon. He's another demon.
Yeah.
Just like Mephisto.
I think we kind of transitioned from like the villain is the good guy but evil like movie in the MCU. I think we're getting complex villains finally.
I love that about it. You know, we
Yeah.
saw it with Thanos, and now we're especially getting it with Wanda, someone we rooted for on screen, now actively betraying us.
I think we also all expected more from this movie, like cameo wise.
Yes.
I did, but that's a double-edged sword because it's like that's hype. It's not the movie's fault.
Yeah,
No,
it's,
it is
that's
not.
us for.
It's
That's us
it's
for
us, the
believing the
fan
hype.
theories, and it's like all those stupid YouTube channels, us included. We're hyping
We
this
are
thing up.
a stupid YouTube channel. That's for sure. That is for sure.
I will say the only cameo I was expecting that we didn't see was just possibly Tobey Maguire. as
Yeah, that-
Spider-Man,
like, 'cause-
especially with Raimi being involved.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, well,
And Tom Cruise. I thought Tom Cruise was.
I really
gonna be
thought
in it.
Tom
I
Cruise
did
was
too.
going.
I had absolutely no. I did not think he was appearing in this at all.
I heard like I did a video or where I reviewed the trailer for this forever ago, and I showed up I showed a picture of everybody that was rumored to be in. The Ghost Rider was in there. Yeah, there was.
Oh, was it the credit thing you saw? Was that stupid credit?
It was just a bunch of headshots of all these different superheroes. I'm just like, they're all going to be. Maybe that's what we speculated on. Like it was like originally 40 minutes were cut or whatever.
Yeah.
Like maybe that was it because but I would have loved Toby to be here, but I'm glad almost that they didn't because we just got him.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
did just get Toby. And Spider-Man 4 is still a real possibility, and Spider-Verse is a real possibility for him to show up too. There's gonna be like over 140 characters in the first one, and across the Spider-Verse. So like, who knows who we're gonna get?
I will say I'm glad we didn't get these speculated people. I think it was good at what they had. And like you guys said, the only reason I think that you might be disappointed is just because of overbuilt hype
Yep.
itself. So
Yep.
I didn't have a lot of hype into this, and I walked away loving it. So
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, I think that's all I had.
I mean, there's certain things where like, direction wise, I think in some parts it was a little not done too well, editing wise. So it's more technical side of stuff.
What do you give it?
I give it an 80.
80 out of 100.
wow.
Yeah, 80. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna land there because it's I didn't bring it up, but when we first like get the Illuminati will see you now, and then we get like this weird kind of cut to whatever Wanda's doing, and it wasn't too important. We could have spliced the two Illuminati scenes together. I think that would have been a better editing choice. But the camera work,
A top notch.
great,
Yeah,
dynamic in
Very, very
you know.
Raimi.
Yeah, it's like compared to like, and not shitting on No Way Home. The story was really good, but the direction wasn't too like inventive. They had that one long shot in the beginning, and then they had like a couple POV shots of them swinging. But
Yeah, it was more an acting movie, I think.
yeah,
Yeah.
This
Definitely more
one
acting.
really tried to amp up and be more creative with how you're seeing things.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, 80 is
More
where
symbolism and stuff, yeah.
I land. Yeah, Jade.
I'd go 85. I mean, I really liked it. I would have probably given it a 90 if we did something different with Wanda. I really was holding out hope for like a big cosmic villain. I was good with the cameos, but I was missing out on a cosmic villain only because I don't know. I like that we're having the conversation, but I don't know if I like what we're saying about what Wanda's going through and what everyone's going through. I just kind of feel like they took her a little bit far for me. I really would have I would have liked to see, her at some point join the good guys and maybe, I don't know, defeat or be controlled by somebody or something. Like, I was really hoping that her actions could have been justified by more than just grief and more than just depression. But that's me. Overall, very good movie.
All right. I completely I disagree. I mean, I thought
Completely.
the depressive not complete. Okay.
No,
not
completely. You guys hate my take.
not
It's
completely.
fine.
No, like I give it I'm gonna price this right. I'm gonna give it an 86. It's a great movie. It's a great fucking Elizabeth Olsen, just fantastic. The direction again, spotty in parts, but the
Specifically action scenes. I think some monotony.
I was
kind
also
of.
not hype, but I was expecting one of the post credit scenes to be Gore the God Butcher. It's just something teasing Thor because it's the next movie. I know Marvel's kind of getting away with it. We had this conversation in the car, but I would love to see something with, Christian Bale. I think he's going to be an overarching villain for a few movies. I don't think it's just going to be Love and Thunder. Like, I think he's going to be one of the bigger bads we're seeing. And I really wanted to see that.
Really? Why? I mean, does he have an interest outside of killing gods?
I don't even.
Yeah, but
know
he's gonna be
anything
the big cosmic villain, like for a few movies, like maybe Guardians 3 and Eternals 2.
I guess there's some god blood there. That's true.
Yeah,
there are more gods than I think I'm giving more credit.
Yeah.
See, the thing is,
We
though,
just got the Egyptian gods in
True that.
yeah, and Moon Knight.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're
Yeah.
really going. I don't know. They need a big cosmic villain to go out.
Yeah.
The thing is, though, we don't want too many carryover villains.
Well, I mean,
because
it's
I
just a
don't,
cameo.
I don't think Wanda's dead.
Oh yeah, no, she's definitely not dead.
We know that. Well, we haven't met Gore the God, but we know that Adam Warlock's coming. We know that Kang the Conqueror is going to be kind of the Phase 4 recurring villain.
he's like setting up to be the Thanos.
He's gonna be the multiverse.
Yeah.
He's gonna be the multiverse villain.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just want. I mean, I do want a little finality. I just don't want Wanda to die just yet.
Yeah.
I don't.
This
I think
is
they
the
got a
whole
little more.
multiverse saga we got going on here. So like it's.
I mean, so different versions of that's acceptable,
Yes.
but not like this. Not the same versions of these people or characters.
All right, James, what do you give it?
I am going a bit against the grain here. I absolutely love the movie. I give it a 93.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So that obviously cracks your top 10 Marvel movies.
Yes, I was just thinking that. It's definitely top 10. I don't know if I'd go as far to say top 5, but I think definitely top 10.
Okay.
And for me, and I know this might be a bit of a controversial opinion for some, but for me, for movies, a lot of my interest comes more from the technical direction, the visual spectacle. And when I say technical direction, I don't necessarily just mean directing, but like how stuff is shot and edited and stuff like that. And I loved the visuals in this movie. I thought it was something completely unseen in Marvel before this. With that said, I never saw Morbius, and I saw from trailers there was probably some somewhat similar direction, but I'm just going to assume this took it a lot better than Morbius did. But I loved the visuals in it, and I loved all of the horror elements sprinkled throughout. And that does make me want to bring up, do you consider this a horror movie? Because I would. Not like
It's a modern.
classic horror movie, slasher type film, but
It's a modern PG-13
yeah,
movie.
yeah, in a Marvel universe. Obviously you have to keep that Marvel grounding, but I loved the horror elements that it drew from heavily, especially with Raimi behind the wheels, behind the reins there.
I completely agree. Do you guys?
Yeah, I think it's definitely. It's PG-13 horror movie. Nothing like Hereditary. Nothing. But it's like it kind of brings like those like what you said, Jade, with the Gothica.
Yeah.
It gives me Gothica vibes.
It does. It has like an early 2000s like Japanese horror type of feel to it, which I think he is into. But yeah, I would definitely say soft horror for sure. I mean, if not horror, then like, I don't know, dark fantasy maybe. But
Yeah.
All right. So, yeah.
spooky flick.
93, 80,
93.
86, 85. Solid. Favorite scene, everybody. So, we, James, you go first. You're laughing over there.
So we kind of established earlier, my favorite scene is Danny's least favorite scene. I loved the music fight,
Yeah.
but that's because I myself am a musician. I've been involved in music my whole life. So to see that honored in a movie, like as the forefront of what is taking place in a scene, like in an action sequence like that, I loved that. I really appreciated that. And it also, like, it was really funny. There's this TikTok account that I follow of this guy who is creating a video game that is almost exactly like that, where it is composing music from the fighting that you're doing, and like notes appear on like floating above them. It's literally looks just like that.
Sounds very indie.
Yeah, it is. It's one single guy making it by himself. Like he's going step by step by himself making this, and it reminded me of that. But that was by far my favorite scene, just because I love music and I love bringing the attention forefront to the music in the scene.
You're
And Danny Elfman killed it.
You're bringing the horizon.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes I question why I do this.
It's like my favorite. It's like my love-hate scene because it's definitely when Wanda like decimates all of like the Illuminati. It's like
I'm gonna geek in on you with that because that's also my favorite scene.
yeah, it's so good. It really just highlights just like her skill level and also like how far she's come as I was almost gonna call her a superhero, but like a super powered being.
Anti-hero kind of agenda
leaning
hero.
on anti.
Boys-esque.
Yeah, but yeah. It really just highlights like how far she's come, like what her journey has been like. And you know, you remember like what she was like in Ultron and like very unstable power. She is an unstable person, but she was just able to like lay out an entire team with like no effort at all.
No effort.
Like none.
Just
Sickening.
slice and dice. It was just oof.
Slice a little literal in some parts.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
Slice
right
and
in
pop.
the middle.
Like legit slice, pop, and so
Popping is
That was a good
also
sound
very
bite.
boys-esque.
Ooh, popping is very boys-esque.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I just rewatched it, so.
what's yours, Danny?
I'm gonna take a different route. My favorite scene is when Wanda is disillusioned. She realized that like she's the monster.
Oh, it's a good
I
scene.
think that's like the end turning point of it, and I'm just like
The climax.
the climax. Yep.
Yeah.
Ding.
Dang.
And it's I don't know. It's just like you don't see it too often, and it's just like Wanda as a character has in that like that's like the completion of her like this whatever WandaVision was to or like but basically from Infinity War on into now like that this completes her arc like her downfall and then her just path for vengeance and then now she's just like all that shit not worth it because in the end you know like you're just gonna scare the shit out of your kids.
I mean, even before that, right? Like, she's introduced to us as a tragic character. I mean, she's somebody who's had her and her brother have had like their entire families taken away from them, and then just become like scientific experiments. And then her twin, she loses him, right? And then she loses Vision, and then she loses her kids, and then she loses her mind. So it's like,
Oh, nice.
just really fucked up.
Worst death in the MCU, though, Quicksilver. Like, how
so
do you
bad.
kill a speedster with bullets? Come on.
Yeah. Josh just like wanted to kill somebody. I think that's like, fuck you. You know,
Could have been Hawkeye. I don't know.
they
Could've just kept him where he was.
They made up for him with his family. I think
That's true.
Yeah.
You know, and Hawkeye the series is okay. It's pretty good.
I did
I
love
liked
the
it. It
series.
was
I love the
cute.
series, but you know, arguably Quicksilver series. Could've saw that coming.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Yeah. Favorite scenes. There's just some really good scenes all around because like there's a lot of really good scenes in this movie, like from a direction and an acting standpoint. Like
Yeah.
solid all around. All right. So we're gonna introduce something new here for everyone here on the channel. It's what we're watching nowadays and some recommendations you might want to just take our word for it. I don't know if you want to. I mean
If you want
who the
to,
fuck are we? I mean, I guess.
we're just some fucking guys.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, Ozark. That's what I'm watching right now. Season 4, part 2. I finished it already. It's a great watch. It's honestly more realistic Breaking Bad if you haven't seen the show. And it is. It really is.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's something that could definitely happen to somebody if they decide to, work for a drug cartel.
I want to know how did he get involved with that? You know.
To watch the show. Watch the show to find out. That's what I'm watching nowadays.
Can I go next?
Yeah,
Since,
James, go ahead.
It relates to that. My show I've been watching a lot lately is a classic comedy, Arrested Development, and I want to bring it up because Jason Bateman is also the star of that.
Yes.
Now, when I say this, I mean the first 3 seasons only.
Yes.
When it went to Netflix, I can't even finish the seasons. I just don't like it nearly as much as the original 3 seasons. But the original 3, I think, is some of the best comedy on television. No show manages to consistently and recurringly get me to laugh out loud when I'm watching it. And this is one of those shows. And with that said, it's worth mentioning it is a product of its time. It's from early 2000s. There is some offensive humor, but I think it's also worth noting that's part of the point. This is a deluded, rich family that is incredibly arrogant, and you can imagine, a rich family is probably not going to be the most PC people out there. But
rich
putting
people.
it lightly.
yeah. But Arrested Development.
Yeah. All right, Danny.
Yeah.
I'm only going to do 2. I've been watching Attack on Titan for the first time. I am into it. I'm in season 3. And Sep really was like, she's already in season 4. She's towards the end. And she's like, I'm going to pace myself, and I'm not going to stop till you catch up. So now I'm on season 3. I'm really liking it. And everything I thought I knew is just turning on its head. And it's really good. And then I'm also reading Darth Plagueis. Because of our Return of the Jedi podcast, Sean made me think of that book again. I'm just like, I want to figure out what Palpatine's backstory,
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah. You're reading that one online, right? On that service you have for the...
No, Marvel Unlimited?
Yeah.
No. I bought the book.
Oh.
I bought a paperback book, physical, Physical media for life.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Except for the comics that you...
I bought a year and I'm not using it.
Yeah.
I should probably...
I got a free 2 months.
Yeah.
I haven't used it.
Yeah, maybe you should give me that because I want to read some stuff.
All right, yeah. I mean, I read Civil War and I started reading Spider-Verse.
Okay.
Both pretty good.
I do want to start reading comic books because I never have.
Same.
But I just don't want to read it in a digital format. I like you said, physical media. I think is far superior, especially when it comes to reading.
I would agree with reading. Video games, no.
Free comic book day on Saturday.
Oh,
Yes, an
I didn't know
Umbrella
that.
Academy comic is coming out for it.
So tomorrow, because this episode comes out on Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm in the news. We talk like that. We say Saturday when it's Saturday and Friday when it's Friday.
Got to put a date to it, though.
That's
All right, what's yours?
What am I watching right now? I am watching Tokyo Vice on HBO Max.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, what's that about?
Ansel, I want to say
Elgort.
Elgort. See, okay, glad I didn't say it. He is starring. He is a journalist in Tokyo, the first American journalist to work at this Japanese, world-renowned paper. And essentially, he finds himself trying to uncover some crimes, some cover-ups, some deep government cover-ups. It's pretty sick.
Conspiracy shit.
Some conspiracy shit. It's very, very good. Also, I would say, since we were talking about Arrested Development, I am rewatching Veep and holds up. Good shit. Love it. So good. So 10 out of 10, recommend both.
All right, cool.
Oh, yeah. All right. Well, I think that just about wraps up this episode, right, Danny?
Yep.
Yeah. All right. So we are Seen It Before. You can find us on Instagram and TikTok. Yeah. With the handle at Seen It Beforecast. That's SCENE, It Beforecast. And then also find us on Twitter with the handle at SIB_pod. That's SIB_pod. I'm Dan.
I'm Danny. You can find me on Instagram at Danny_Was, my letterbox at DJ Was, or my YouTube channel, which is just Danny Was. And who wants to go first with plugs?
If you want to plug yourself, I mean, that's up to you.
Okay, I'm Jade. I'm myself. You can find me at With Your Host on Instagram. And if you want me on your podcast, you can also find me at stuckmanjade@gmail.com.
There you go. Ooh, email.
Nice.
Yeah, you know me,
Email.
I'm profesh.
All right. James?
I'm James Andre. I guess I'll plug my letterbox, although I don't put reviews on it outside of ratings. But at James81XA.
Yeah. Hell yeah. All right. Well, it has been an honor, as usual, to bring you this content. We want to do more of these movies. I mean, this is probably one of our best reviews we've done of a movie. This and the Batman, they were
Yeah, I had a lot of fun. Yeah.
killer. I had a lot of fun doing this. We gotta do some more movies eventually.
Yeah.
Theater movies.
I'm down.
Hell yeah.
You know I'm down for everything. So.
I know. All right. Well, anyway, it's been an honor. We'll see you next time.